Hi, this is Jeremy Schoonmaker with the Channel MPS Group. With a video today a little bit more about job storage and talking about the different types of job storage. I'll be printing to a LaserJet Enterprise M527 and I'll be using UPD 6.7. So like I said, there are multiple types of job storage. There's actually 4 different types in the driver. So I'm going to go ahead and print this job and show you what those different types are. In the job storage tab, you'll see proof and hold, personal job, quick copy, and stored job. Now, personal job is the one that we're usually used to. As you send it, you attach a PIN to it or a password maybe, then you go up to the device, you print it, and it gets deleted. Okay, so that's a personal job, and we've talked about that in a couple different videos. So there's a couple different other options that are available. Mostly people use personal job. I don't see these other ones used very often, but they can be helpful in different circumstances. The first one's called proof and hold. And the idea of proof and hold is that you can send multiple copies to the device. Say if you need 1,000 copies of a document, you can print one out and check to make sure you actually like it before you print the other ones out. Okay, so that's what it's for. So if I go here to proof and hold, I'm going to do 3 copies of a job. And what you should see is I should get a notification here that my job has been stored. There it is. But my device should also ramp up and go ahead and print 1 copy of this document. Okay. So 1 page prints, my other 2 copies are now stored at the device. So that's the first one, okay? Now I'm going to go to a different document so we can see the different document names here. Okay, so that was my proof and hold. Now I'm going to go to this next one and I'm going to do quick copy. Now quick copy is made so that you can print a job, and then if you need to print it again later, it'll already be stored at the device. Both proof and hold and quick copy are like personal jobs where they're temporary. So you can set this up where maybe for, let's say, a copy room or something where people may print and then need to print something again. And you can have those store maybe for an hour and then just set the embedded web server to delete those stored jobs after an hour. So that's what quick copy does. So when I send my job, and again here it's this Enterprise Security Features document, I'm going to send it. It'll print, but then it's also going to store at the device to be reprinted later if I want to. So there's my notification that it was stored, and you may or may not be able to hear my device ramping up and actually printing that job now. Okay, so that's number 2. So we have proof and hold, quick copy, and now the last one here is called stored job. Now, stored job is similar to a personal job. The difference being is that when you release it, it does not delete. So it stays permanently on the device. This is not considered a temporary job, and if you look at the embedded web server functions around managing stored jobs, this is actually a kind of a permanent stored job, not a temporary stored job. So again, this can make your device kind of act like a mailbox of some sort. I think that probably a good use of this would be if you have forms that you consistently print out rather than having to go find those forms on like a SharePoint or something every time you just walk up to the MFP and you can have them there. Because of that, I think, and you don't have to do this, but I think that using a custom username makes a little bit more sense. So instead of having it for somebody specific, you could have it be set for forms, and then anybody could access it, and it's in a kind of a custom named mailbox. So I'm going to go ahead and send that and store it, and then I'll go to my device and we can look at the front panel and see what that looks like. Okay, so it's stored. I'm going to launch the remote control panel so you can see as it goes. I'll use my device over here. Okay, so waking it up, and to do job storage, I'll go into print and print from job storage. Now what we should see is a folder of my username and then the one forms, which is the last one I did. So in my username, you should see 2 different jobs, the Pro Security and the Enterprise Security. Remember, the Pro Security was the first one I did. That's my proof and hold job. So if I would go ahead and release it, you see it changed it to 2 copies because I had asked for 3, it printed 1, and then it saved the other 2. My embedded enterprise one is my quick copy, so it's one I already have a copy of, but if I wanted to print it again, it's there and ready to go. All right? Okay, now if I go back, you'll also see, again, back in print from job storage, I have my form. So this was my stored job, and it's just in this forms folder that everybody could access and be able to print from. And then if I release it, if I click on it, you see there's a trash can to delete it, but if I actually release it, it'll print out. And then if I go back, the job will still be here. It didn't automatically delete. It's here, sorry, in the forms area. So as many times as I release that, that job will stay there until I actually go here and click the delete button and delete that job. So those are the different versions of job storage that we have on HP Enterprise devices.